the comeback of a lifetime, having been outscored 17-6 just a while ago, going up against a Team Queso squad who simply needs to win to claim the #1 seed at the European Major, or at the Winter Major in Los Angeles. Daz, does 0-0 have it in them to continue this Cinderella run through the Copa de Rocket League?
That's going to be the question they answer here on the field. They're going up against a Team Queso roster who came out the gate not necessarily looking as strong as many people would have liked, almost losing in groups. And now they're making that lower bracket run. We'll see exactly how things look. I mean, we saw Queso earlier, you know, going 5 games against Carmine and showing that this rising talent in Europe still has some signs of weakness. It's going to be up to 0-0 to exploit those weaknesses.
I'm glad they mentioned it on the desk as well, the resilience of 0-0 Nation. They need to call on that here. Again, after they were just battered and bruised by Dignitas. And it's got to be the toughest thing to do, to play back-to-back following a loss. By design, by the way. Everybody knew that this was going to happen with this particular matchup, as Flame shot is sent away by Vatira. Another one played just a little bit wide on the near side. And now Flame up top. Denied by Joyo. Vatira to center for Rise. They just can't get there because Breezy's in the way, and Rise can't get back in time. So Flame gets the first strike for 0-0 Nation.
Oh, look at the counterattack. Flame all the way downfield. What is he doing there? He's redirecting the top right corner. Great start there for Flame, picking the pockets of Queso.
Just over a minute gone by. 0-0 got what they need. A lead, which they seldom had a moment ago. Joyo will stop here, but everybody's going to get back as Breezy trying to go around Flame. He's there, and Rise is there to make the save. 0-0 Nation keeping the pressure on Team Queso.
You got to think about, you know, these teams played each other in that group stage. Stacks went all 5 games.
Yep.
0-0 was the team that came out with that victory. So they know they've done this before, and recently too. It's going to be tough to shake off that loss that they had to Dignitas earlier to get back into things. But the first goal of the series to start it off puts them in a favorable position.
That 10 minutes in between series, it can be a godsend though. It's been a fresh start for 0-0 Nation, and Breezy adds to it. Moving downfield off the outlet from Flame.
Look at this. Breezy gets the flip. You can see Vatira didn't really think he had it, and he activated it at the perfect time, also pushing Vatira out the way. Beautiful work there by Breezy.
So Breezy sets up Flame. Flame returns the favor, 2-0 to 0-0. Now it's Breezy against Joyo. Good stop there, but it kicks right back out to Hibbs. Looking to set up anybody out of the corner, but everybody else is too far back, so Flame will come up. They do keep the ball on Queso's half of the field. It's Team Queso just coming out very sluggish here against 0-0. And maybe that last series, Daz, kind of a wake-up call, because they are not missing anything now.
Look at this. Beautiful read from Flame. Up. Perfect placement on the shot. The confidence in 0-0 Nation in the opener of game 1. I mean, you make it feels like they didn't lose the last series the way they're playing.
It's a team that if you do take out that previous series, Daz, 0-0 Nation wasn't conceding very many goals. You know, you're looking at maybe 1.8 per game for the tournament. Not a bad number at all. It was still more than they were scoring, which is kind of an oddity. Of course, then you add in that Dignitas series, and their goals allowed shoot up to almost 2.4 per game. Again, that's just more of a statement of how on point Dignitas has been today. As Joyo will throw one downfield, a rare trip under the offensive end for Team Queso. Rise for Vatira, cannot break the shutout as Joyo is stuffed by Breezy, and Hibb should have this all day. No, Flame comes in, and Breezy will kind of take a back seat watching Hibbs play that to the back wall.
Chance here. You see Rise looking for the bump. So it's Vatira. Hibbs, goal line save, and gets another follow-up. And that's not the first time Hibbs has done something like that this game. He's good at dodging the demos, but also a transition play about to happen. You see 0-0 so quick to get on top of the ball and push it to the other end. They are not giving Queso that much room to breathe.
Joyo stopped by Breezy as well. And again, Team Queso struggled to get the ball across the center line. Joyo hanging around at the back, lands on the backboard and will get downfield, and Rise took out Flame. That will help a little bit, but Breezy's into the play. Flame's back in. He gets taken out again, and maybe a chance for Queso to at least get one on the board, though Rise got hung up on the wall with Breezy, so he couldn't continue on. Now Vatira looking to add one to the highlight reel, and Flame's not interested in that in the slightest. Now Rise will try again, and he's just gone completely by this. And again, 0-0 Nation doing just about everything right, while Team Queso can't get off the ground in game one.
They're still struggling. And time is gone at this point, 20 seconds left. And 0-0 Nation, my goodness, what an opener here. Queso, yeah, they may have had a bit of a break, but now they really got to wake up here soon. Not able to get any offense going. Despite having 4 shots on, the pressure hasn't looked solid. 0-0 Nation, though, here to play. As no matter what happens, this is going to hit the ground. They're going to take the W in a very impressive display of skills, especially when you look at players like Breezy and Hibbs. Even Flame and some of the shooting. He got 2 goals that game, Stacks. Everybody kind of clicking right now for 0-0.
They hold a squad in Team Queso that had averaged just over 2 goals a game to absolutely nothing. And there really weren't many opportunities. We saw a couple looks that Queso got at the 0-0 Nation net where you think, okay, if they scored every good chance they got, they at least make it a close game, but they still don't beat 0-0 Nation here. You can tell the sense of urgency is there, right, Dazarin? I mean, this is a team that knows they need, first of all, to win this whole tournament, and they still need a little bit of help. They'll need Evil Geniuses to lose the next series for anything to matter at all for 0-0 Nation. So they're trying to control what they can control, and they did control Team Queso in that game.
I mean, you talk about control, everybody, again, stepping up. Hibbs on that defense, getting some of those goal line saves, especially some of the assists that we saw. And then you take a look at Flame, putting on some really good quality shots. But also, the battle comes into the midfield. You see plays like this where Joyo brings up the ball, and normally it doesn't work out for Queso. Finally, Vatira is able to get a follow-up, but those have been usually cut out. The big number going into this series is 1.86 per game, as Vatira will get the first goal for Queso, putting that one in.
Yeah, they were in the top 8 of stingiest defenses, but now they get scored on here. And of course, again, that all changed with what Dignitas just did to them. Team Queso's got to channel a little bit of that dig energy to solve the puzzle that is 0-0 Nation's defense, because that's how they've gotten by in this tournament. They haven't just outscored their opponents through sheer force of will. No, they've done one of the toughest things to do in all of Rocket League, play lockdown defense for a sustained period of time. Breezy's gonna bank one out here. He's got Flame waiting way back. Everybody kind of at the back line, looking a little bit like Team Queso was in that first game. And maybe we will see a reversal of roles here, as Flame will kind of flip around and call Breezy off. This goes right to Breezy, and Hibbs cut in front, and Rise will interfere with him, so that may work out greatly for Team Queso. And the communication at the back, Daz, has to be a little bit better for 0-0 Nation if they're going to hold off Queso for a long time.
Queso mechanics are really solid, so when you see someone like Rise going for those demo plays, look at Vatira as well, trying to just get a bump off Hibbs. They know he's last back. They want to make the defense that is so strong in 0-0 uncomfortable, but also set up the solo plays, because that's really what works out for Queso. They're able to break apart defenses, and that's going to be tested in this series.
Rise was up for one, but Hibbs got in the way. He'll grab that midfield boost and then still get obliterated by Vatira. I don't know how Hibbs doesn't get the demo there. Looked like he had plenty of speed, but was not supersonic, so them's the breaks. It's Joyo over towards Flame. Problem is they're not teammates. Hib's got a shot off, and Rise right there in his grill for the save. And here comes Team Queso again. Vatira's just worm burns one right along, and it's 2-0.
And that's the man you don't want to give space to. Look at Vatira. Great follow-up to get the pinch off the ground, and Breezy rotating back, no chance making that save.
Oh, it kicked up some rubber pelts. If this were a turf field. 2-0 now. Joyo gets Breezy out of the way and then gets bumped in midair, so his play is over. But Vatira now for Rise, and boy, a rare whiff by Breezy, and that even caught Rise by surprise.
Yeah. He was not expecting that miss at all. In position, but definitely thought there was going to be a touch there. You got to think these guys so used to playing against each other, and they've just been playing this tournament for so long. Some of the whiffs could lead to goals, and still more pressure from Queso. They're trying to build upon this lead.
Rise goes right at Flame. It comes right back to Joyo. Now Breeze out of the corner. He needed one more touch. Doesn't have it, so Vatira has all the time in the world to play with this ball, and he threw off Flame. Oh, you gotta feel bad for Flame. Just don't watch this from his perspective. It is painful.
What I say? I said one of those whiffs would lead to a goal, Stacks, and there it is. Oh man, at this point, 0-0, the script has flipped on them as they end up in the same position they put Queso in, but much earlier. Queso's starting to figure things out on how to make 0-0 uncomfortable. Again, you saw that aggressive style that they came out with in the early opener, where just constantly someone who's, once they're done with the play, they're looking for those bumps and demos. They're going for a lot of aggressive challenges because they know 0-0, they can play a decent game of Rocket League, especially when Breezy's shooting like that.
Well, following the natural hat trick from Vatira, Breezy gets them going. Well, that's great placement to get around Joyo. And with 1:45, there's still plenty of life for 0-0 Nation in game 2. I mean, you go back to Carmine Corp, who was down 3 goals right around this point. This is where they came alive and certainly made a game of it in game 5 of their series earlier. Breezy hanging around the backboard, and hey, you kind of do have to throw caution to the wind. They got another demolition. Hib's going underneath, and Vatira ranges over for the save, and that will significantly slow down 0-0 as Joyo will collect, play along the ceiling, and Flame could only slow it down temporarily.
And this is going to be a big challenge, just getting the ball upfield, let alone, you're making all these defensive stops. The counterattacks are going to have to be perfect for 0-0 in the final minute. Queso, they're willing to play that 50 game out and then waste so much time in the air. Look at him now.
Well, Breezy lands on this, push it away from Flame, so he's got to play it himself. Now Hibs playing one all the way across. Little too much east to west movement here for 0-0 Nation. Down 2 goals in the final minute. Rise goes right through the ball, and Breezy there to stop it. Now Hibs launched to the backboard, got to be cleared by Joyo, and it is. That forces everybody back to where Breezy is. Another win by Rise. And Team Queso continues to slam the door shut in the faces of 0-0 Nation. Joyo now looking for the knockout blow. Couldn't get there by Flame. Rise lobs one in, and boy, that's just about got to do it unless they can get downfield right now and give themselves a shot at a kickoff goal.
Pass the field, and still, we get into the final minute of this game. 0-0 Nation have not registered a single shot. And now, that one will go to midfield, and Queso will tie up the series. Again, it gets to those final minute Stacks, and teams know how to lock down on defense. 0-0 Nation did great in terms of shooting up to that point, but they let the game slip away from them.
This is how 0-0 Nation plays. Not a ton of scoring opportunities. The problem is they fell behind early, and a team that has to win the way 0-0 does, keeping their opponent in check. If they let things get out of hand in the first couple of minutes, as they did, Team Queso scoring those 3 goals all by Vatira, all I think right around the halfway mark when all was said and done. That's just almost impossible to come back from. So 0-0 Nation has to put a massive emphasis, I think, Daz, on the first 2 minutes now going into game 3.
That was a big proponent for them because they got most of their scoring in game 1 off those first 2 minutes. So it just comes out on how you can open up, because if they do fall and they drop multiple goals, then it's going to be just such a tough challenge getting past Team Queso, setting up offense just to get a single shot attempt, let alone consistent offensive pressure. We haven't seen that from 0-0 all series. So what we can expect from them is, okay, work that counterattack, but you got to make sure you're not giving up goals at the same time.
Vatira beats Hibbs, and that has been the theme from game 2 up to now this point. Early on in game 3, Team Queso has just moved a little bit faster than 0-0 Nation. Took them a game to get accustomed to how 0-0 plays. Now here's Flame denied by Joyo. Followed now, though, from Hibbs. 0-0 coming alive at the start of game 3. And again, this is where they have to have that urgency. They have to dominate the first couple of minutes and at least not fall behind. They get down a goal at the halfway mark. That's as much a win as being up a goal at that point. At least they're around, because they've shown in those close games they certainly do have the ice. They just can't let it get out of hand too early.
I like what I'm seeing for Breezy so far. He's been really good in terms of cutting out passes and going for aggressive challenges in the air, just disrupting Queso. They're going to need some of that moving forward, as Hibbs was looking for a pass, and you can see Queso immediately sending that one away.
Yeah, Breezy was way back, so that pass just to an open space. Vatira coming through now. He has all the scoring so far for Team Queso. Almost added a 4th in the series. Now Flame trying to throw off Joyo. So he goes for that corner boost. Hibbs is right there on the doorstep, and he threads the needle right through the heart of the goal.
I like this from Hibbs, sneaking up. He went to go pick up the mid boost and let me hang around here for a little bit. Awkward shot, but he angles the car perfectly enough to get enough power in. And 0-0, they set the tone in game 3.
I mean, when all 3 cars look like they're connected by a short leash, even the most awkward shots, as long as they're placed right, they'll beat everybody at the same time. That's what happened there. 0-0 Nation in front. And we're coming up on that halfway mark, Daz. Up a goal as Breezy looks to add more to it. Flame is beaten underneath, though, and that means Hibbs all alone at the back. But he handled himself well. Rise now coming through. One more touch, and well read by Breezy.
Oh, good win off the touch from Flame. Flame and Hibbs have been really placing some of their opportunities with shots well. And again, seeing the way Breezy's been able to move with the ball, you can understand how 0-0 got this far. Just a mix of things working perfectly is, Joyo in a tough spot. Breezy trying to connect with it, but Joyo still managed to get the save. Unreal stuff on defense from Queso, but they got to get this ball out.
Well, 0-0 Nation have done incredibly well over these last 2.5 minutes, as they've created rebound opportunities and they've read them well. They're making Queso make big clears out of the zone. This is near the net, and Hibbs will pop it away. Joyo's got to get there, and he had to worry about Vatira maybe being in the way. And then, of course, demolished for his efforts as Vatira runs up the wall. He's got Joyo across.
Yes.
There's no Breezy. Hibbs is up. Can't make the stop.
No!
It's still loose on the goal line and cleared away by Breezy at the last moment. Joyo now trying to pull the thread on him, and we're tied up.
He was scoring the goal at some point. You can see it. He missed the double. He said, give me this. Push it right through Flame. And he just forces the tie goal for Queso.
It's amazing how well he handled his momentum in the air coming in. Slowed himself down to give himself a shot. And Joyo ties things up. 100 seconds separate us from overtime. Rise has other plans. Leave it back for Vatira for the lead.
Wow, it really comes down to Breezy on this back wall here. Rise with that touch over, going high against Hibbs. Breezy with the misread. It's an open net for Vatira. Just like that, Queso scored 2 back-to-back.
He went to stop the double, and nobody else was there to stop Vatira. Team Queso got it figured out. Rise down in front, but nobody diving in. Now Joyo just plays this right back across into the heart of the defense. Hibbs now, little bouncer, easily sent away by Rise. So 0-0 Nation has to get a little creative now with just over a minute to go. I don't think they can rely on Queso making many more mistakes or misreads. They have to generate something here. Hibbs trying to do exactly that, but he lost control on the flip reset effort. And now Breezy has Flame to the left. Flame's got to come in though and try to play this. He couldn't get the shot off, and that made Breezy running forward a moot point. Oh, another fake by Rise trying to set up Vatira, and Flame was having none of it.
They just need one good drive. You can see they're sending 2 up for demos at points, but also rotation has to be clean here for 0-0. They can't afford to just have a wasted effort of sending somebody out in front. Not with 30 seconds left on the clock as a good shot comes in and a great save for Vatira.
Joyo will send one the length of the field. Breezy's there to intercept in the direction of Flame, and that one's kind of been given away by Rise. A bit of a lazy touch, and it may cost them. Oh, Vatira avoided Flame and avoided conceding a goal in the process. Down to 13 seconds. Hibbs lobs one, and Flame wasn't quite ready for it. Rise will clear away. Down to 5 seconds left. Hibbs did avoid the demo, though. There's life for 0-0 Nation, but they got to get back in a hurry. Flame will gather this and at least keep them alive, but man, it is a tall, tall order. Breezy to the side, Hibbs can't get there, and Queso is ahead in the series.
It comes down to Vatira. When we see that heads-up play, someone's going for a demo, expecting Vatira to jump. He sits cool, calm, and collected, and saves Queso from overtime. Wow. The ability to be able to turn that around, because 0-0, they started off strong in the early part of the game, but Queso 2 back-to-back and held things down, completely locked up on defense. You saw though this one a little bit more faster paced from 0-0 Nation, as they wanted that equalizer, Stacks.
I'm usually a fan of teams in this spot taking the timeout after they lose their second game in the series. I'm not against 0-0 Nation not taking it here and kind of saving it, because they don't look like they're lost by any means. I mean, you could see the ideas were there, the execution not so much at times, but they had plans in mind to try and get by this Queso defense, and without just a stellar defensive effort out of Rise and Vatira especially, maybe 0-0 Nation finds a way to get back into that game and take it in OT. Certainly have to think about it if they drop this game, though, with their life in this split on the line, and Vatira adds to their problems 18 seconds in.
I mean, look at that. You got to stop Joyo, and Joyo's not even done with the play. Gets a bump on Hibbs in net while Vatira just gets to solo style. Queso moving 100% right now.
5 goals in the series out of Vatira. Remember, he scored the first 3, all 3 in game 2. Joyo now. Of course, he got a flip reset off of that. Vatira, shot denied at point blank range by Hibbs, who slips that by. Flame leave it back for Breezy, and intercepted as Rise and Joyo were back there defensively for Team Queso. Again, Queso can clinch the #1 seed in the major if they come out on top in this series, as Breezy will play this out, and Joyo right back into the zone, and that will slow down 0-0 significantly.
Ooh, good read. Flame pre-jumped the shot from Rise. Breezy trying to get a chance to work with that. We'll leave that for Hibbs. And that's going to be tough for Flame to reach. Drop down to Hibbs. Joyo ready. More pressure as 0-0, finally getting something going on offense. Man, these teams, so much fun to watch. Look at Joyo just getting around, and that's going to be a 2-goal lead for Queso.
There's officially no assist on this play, but there's Rise getting 1. And while he didn't get the second demo, he forced the defender Hibbs well out of the way. 2-0. This is one of those games getting away from 0-0 Nation that they just can't afford to let happen. They have to score the next goal, or they are in serious, serious trouble. Hibbs got one in front, but Flame was way too close. And then Rise got in Breezy's way, so that forces him all the way back. That leaves Joyo with a lot of time and space, and they cannot allow that to happen. This is just left for grabs at the middle of the field, and Hibbs was too far back. 0-0 Nation just playing a little too hesitantly right now. As Joyo throws one downfield, maybe this is why they're playing defensively. What a catch by Rise, and Breezy still stopped him.
I like that play. Rise, instead of going for the demo, opts to control the ball. But still, Hibbs looking for the top left. Won't be able to get there. Just off target. And like you said, 0-0, they need one here. Especially if they can get one before that clock really starts to tick down, just to get things back going on offense. Maybe a chance here. Flame goes for the lower left corner, but the shot's off target.
This is not a team in 0-0 Nation that lights up the scoreboard by any means. Even 2 goals is asking a lot to try and chase down in 2.5 minutes. Rise was trying to find a way to get that ball to Joyo. He could not. Now it's Flame for Hibbs. It's a basic pass, but it almost worked out. The shot pushed a little bit wide. Now Breezy with Hibbs coming on behind him. Joyo's up. This is still dangerous. It may go in. No, it does not. I think Joyo got a touch to push it away.
Oh man, Hibbs struggling to control that one in the midfield. Again, so close. 0-0 in terms of making this one at least just looking like they have a chance of hope. But the defense from Queso has been holding strong just as much as they have been for the majority of this series. It's going to take a little bit more effort. And they've been putting in a lot of effort, Stats. It's not to say that they haven't, but it just hasn't been enough. They got to start taking some members of Queso out the field.
Sometimes your best is not good enough. Team Queso has been on point. This is lobbed up. Just a lot of clever touches that 0-0 Nation has to contend with. Team Queso closing in on the #1 seed. 1 game and the remaining minute 10 here away from securing exactly that. Flame against Joyo, and just a futile effort as Joyo had him beat by a mile. Vatira stuffs this right back into the 0-0 Nation end, and that's a good touch by Breezy to collect and not run into the demolition. But again, as they stall, they burn more time off the clock, and time is not their friend at the moment. It's a precious commodity. Vatira gonna collect this and force Breezy to start from his own back line. Easily deflected away by Rise. Joyo will gather here. Hibbs at least lobs one back in, but who else is forward right now for 0-0 Nation? Flame had to come in from midfield, I think is where he jumped from. Now nobody's back, and Vatira scores to put the game away.
Yeah, you could just see all of that effort pushed in from 0-0 Nation. But even then, Queso more than comfortable with double committing. The trust in this team is just super solid, and it works out. You see Vatira with that big challenge to pretty much lock this game away. And for 0-0 Nation, from the start that they got into this series, they haven't been able to replicate that. And they've been on a downwards trend. They got to be able to pick things back up. Again, looking for a chance to go to the Los Angeles Winter Major. That door is shutting as Vatira puts in another one to make it 4-0 Queso.
Just stop it, Vatira. They're dead. All right? They're dead in this game. Just go next. You don't need to score 7 goals in the series. Now, you know what he's doing? He's chasing Jorias, who had, I think, 12 in the previous series for Dig. Rise might even add another. Vatira is lurking, and oh boy, he may just add another. Oh, Joyo took it instead. Make it 5 for Team Queso as they run away with Game 4.
Lighten up the scoreboard. I mean, why not? The whole squad up for that one.
I can hear the timeout already happening, I'm sure.
I think so.
Hey, you can't take it with you.
That's right. There is indeed a timeout for 0-0 Nation. We have that confirmed. So coming at the right moment. The way I see it, got to be able to slow down this Queso squad any way you can, because I mean they're moving just on a different speed, a different pace. You see Joyo in the air. The level of control that he has is just breaking apart 0-0 Nation's defense, which was really good. You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, 1.86 goals allowed per game this entire tournament until today. And Queso are blowing that wide open. You got to take a break here.
And you know what? As sad as it is, and I hate to pile on to 0-0 Nation's issues, but this 2 minutes now, this timeout, will probably be the longest period that Queso has gone without scoring a goal since the end of Game 2. The Queso offense has been just rapid fire. They've been on 0-0 Nation's half of the field the vast majority of this series. Again, only starting at Game 2. Game 1, 0-0 Nation came out looking like, all right, we've got some life here. There's seriously a chance that 0-0 Nation can continue this kind of underdog miracle run through the lower bracket, and maybe they can steal that 5th spot in the major if all the stars align. And then all the stars got way out of alignment, and Team Queso just ran the show offensively.
Yeah. I mean, you're calling on the money there, Stacks. It just seems like, you know, even with how some of the offense has looked for 0-0 Nation, they seem to go all in, and then Queso just brings it back downfield. I mean, you look at these highlights that we're watching now, most of it is someone from Queso in the air constantly, except for that one. We don't talk about that last one. Okay, that was an anomaly. But the way that offense works, you know, Joyo, anyone from Queso is capable of it. They go into the air, they get a really solid solo play. Like, these are things that force a defender to go up to challenge. And then next thing you know, defenses start to kind of fall apart there because they don't necessarily have a good read on the ball. Now we get into this situation where 0-0 Nation, who were able to kind of set the tone on a couple of games that they had the leads in, now they're stuck managing Team Queso, and with their backs against the wall, there's so much pressure on them.
When we have all the players in and ready to go, we will continue this series. It could be the conclusion of this series with 0-0 Nation on the brink right now. Their backs are against the wall. Their winter major hopes are on the line right now. They need to win the next 3 and still get some help to make Sunday meaningful for them. Wasteland, here we go. Joyo's gonna have the first look at it, as has been the case actually a lot in this series. Team Queso has had control off the opening kickoff, I think, every single game. There's Vatira looking for yet another goal. By the way, came in the leading scorer by far in this series with 24 goals before this point. Remember, they played more games than anybody else. They played 25 before this particular series because they just decided to go to Game 5 against darn near everybody.
Boy.
There's Rise, 30 seconds in. Rise will score, and 0-0 Nation have got to be wondering, what do we got to do to get on offense at the start of a game?
Well, maybe get out of your own net. Everybody's stuck back. Rise has freedom in the air, gets a nice flip reset to start things off. Team Queso are just having their way with the field. So much real estate's been given to them, and they love it. They love to use it, and you see Rise utilizing it there just to get them back warmed up after taking that short 2-minute timeout.
Popped away as Hibbs will intercept. Starting to compare some numbers here, and we're not too far off from Vatira outscoring 0-0 Nation in this tournament. He's close. He's not quite there yet.
Ooh.
Breezy, flip reset, got that one way up off the backboard and still denied by Rise. There's Vatira adding another.
Look at this. Even just when you think, okay, finally some consistent offense, a demo comes out, pass, Vatira knows where Hibbs is off the respawn and just rips one straight to the middle of the net.
That's 32 in the tournament now for Vatira against the, let's do quick caster math here, maybe 36 that 0-0 Nation has scored as a team. Rise will deflect this off to the side, and now Hibbs will get a chance to add to that tally. He's certainly going to need to. Breezy with a drive, denied by Vatira.
I like that. Being able to connect with those passes, really good for 0-0 Nation. But now Queso, again, moving upfield with ease almost. You see Joyo being able to get that flick. He's up again. Him and Rise, a little bit of miscommunication. And thankfully, 0-0 were waiting at the right moment to be able to get a challenge on that ball, but they still got a lot of work to do. A lot of time left in game, though.
Vatira to the backboard, looking for a double, and he had a defender in the way. Flame now gets knocked aside by Joyo. Rise on the doorstep. Oh, he got the bump as well, and Rise scores the open net.
Oh, man. This one, look at Joyo to the setup there, and then Toodaloo Hibbs. Rise able to get that one in. And 3-0 in the first 2 minutes. Queso are saying, we are done playing around. It's time to move on to the tournament.
There's this guy, iDazzerin on Twitter, who I think said it best one time. Toodaloo! Out of the corner, Joyo has this right out to midfield. Flame now bouncing one in, trying to follow that up as well, trying to dive bomb onto Vatira's challenge. Now Hibbs, got the ground pinch off the flip reset, and still Joyo stopped that. And hey, look, the creativity's there. I mean, they're going deep into the bag of tricks and still cannot break through this Team Queso defense.
Yeah, it just seems like for them, they get things good. They push again, a lot of resources forward on offense, but the counterattacks just force them to use most of it just to get back. They spend a lot of time getting back, trying to, slow down Queso, and it just doesn't feel like 0-0 Nation are playing their game. Vatira, I mean, he's been putting on numbers offensively. This time, Rise is the leading scorer for Queso this game. That isn't going to stop Vatira for trying to get a few more, as he's on the ball now.
And be looking for his 9th goal of the series. It's just been an absolute menace. And it started with Vatira, this kind of turnaround for Team Queso after they were stifled in game 1, shut out, in fact, by 0-0 Nation. Vatira had all 3 goals as part of a 3-1 victory, and he just has not stopped since then. Rise will gather here, just take more time off the clock, make Flame come out and get him, and still this ball gets through, and Breezy plays around Joyo, but not around Vatira. Joyo got the demo on Hibbs on his way back, so that leaves Queso in charge even more. There's no way. Does not score there, but again, look how much time has come off the clock. It's been about 20 or 30 seconds, it seems, since 0-0 Nation was on Team Queso's half of the field. Flame kept that one out, but to what end? There's just a relentless barrage as Rise will stop this from even reaching the center line. Vatira thought about it. He'll just stay back. There's no real threat. Now Breezy up ahead, intercepted by Rise. That has been the story of this series from game 2 onward.
It just feels like Queso know everything 0-0 Nation are going to do. It's like they have them downloaded, and there's nothing 0-0 Nation can do. They have a 2v1. Rise gets bumped. They'll score the open net. But now we got to see some crazy kickoff plays if they want to have any chance of tying this up.
I've seen stranger things happen. Not necessarily at this level. 18 seconds. Winter split on the line for 0-0 Nation. Got the kickoff going the right way. They cannot let Vatira do this, though. 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds off the clock. Vatira adds his 9th, and that is the knockout blow for Team Queso.
Oh, man. Vatira, pick up, goes low. Disgusting. Man, you smell that? It smells like a whole bunch of cheese. Team Queso dominating so far in this game 5. They look good. They look like the #1 seed in Europe right now.
Funny you should mention that. That's exactly what Team Queso has locked up as part of just a dominant effort from game 2 onward. It never felt like 0-0 Nation recovered from that Vatira hat trick in game 2. He duplicated the feat in game 4 as well, by the way, and he almost did it again in game 5. He stopped just 1 goal short, so Vatira decided to show just a smidge of mercy, but only a little.
I mean, the way Queso are able to like operate and make plays, even like this one from Vatira to end the series. I mean, they were doing that the entire series, Stacks. There was nothing 0-0 Nation could do to get behind it. And this is a team, like we said, 0-0 Nation beat them in groups. It went game 5 overtime. And you could tell Queso, once they figured out the play style, none of that shenanigans was happening again. It was all Queso all the way. And that's what you come to expect from one of the best teams in Europe.
So Vatira leads Team Queso to the number 1 seed. Still got to figure out who's going to get number 5. Who's going to secure that last spot in the major? It could be Evil Geniuses. They've got Luminosity. Our last match of the evening coming your way right after this.